Edwards on the drive, goes inside the floor. Scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
You got it. Back on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Two-man booth here where the man is back for his Nuggets show. He was not here yesterday, unfortunately, but we'll get all his takes about the Nuggets game one, about all the upsets, honestly, in the NBA. I mean, round two, game ones, Tony, in some of game twos, the story has been just complete upsets, meltdowns by some of these teams, some of these higher seed teams. Obviously, you got some injuries from yesterday. You weren't on the show, but there was 3 massive injuries we were talking about on the show and how that affected the slate. Some props that we gave out on the show. Me and Mangone gave out some winners on the show yesterday. He loved Max Strus over 10.5 points. I loved Max Strus rebounding props. We talked about Max Strus 20 points was 9-1. I think his 8+ rebounding prop was close to 9-1 or 8-1. Donnie Mitchell was one assist off a double-double. We talked about Donnie Mitchell laddering his points up from 30 all the way to 40 because they wouldn't let us go any higher. And that was about, honestly, I've never once bet someone for like 40 points, Tony, and felt so comfortable the entire game. Like from the beginning on, I was like, he's getting 40. Like it's going to happen. So I felt so confident that Donnie Mitchell was just dropping the hammer for the points. So I think 40 was like 6 or 7-1 that morning. It dropped all the way to like 4 or 5. So Tony, a lot of winners yesterday on the bets side. You weren't on the show, obviously, but we got to get your takes from all these game ones and game twos. How you feeling here?
Yeah, we can start with yesterday. But, yeah, I mean, you guys, I listened to some of it when I was in the car, and you guys were all over it with a lot of these Cavs things that it was just a big advantage. I sent a tweet, too, yesterday while I think it was a little before the show or after. I can't remember. Sometime
it was like right at the end of the show. So we weren't done yet, but it was like right toward it. We talked about it too. They were still 8.5 point dogs.
It's just crazy. And I still just don't understand that series because it was 8.5. We kind of thought it would be all 3 out. I heard you guys talking about it. I thought at least 2 would sit. Maybe one of them would somehow play. But either way, the spread still only went to 5.5, which was weird. And then the whole game was like set up for the Cavs to just roll them. I mean, roll them the way it's set up. It was the whole time. I honestly had Indiana, and I was like, I'm probably just going to lose because Indiana's playing 14 guys like Carlisle likes to do, and the Cavs are just playing good with all these role guys, even with.
And every time you touch Donnie, it was a foul. Like every single time.
They got every call. It just looked like it. But then still, it was such a bad line that Indiana still somehow gets there. Still steals the game. I have no idea how. That's the second time in the playoffs the Pacers have won one of those. And one of them, part of the thing is it's literally with the Pacers, at least to me, is as simple as if Halliburton's aggressive. Like if he's aggressive, they're really tough. And you see the stats with it too, where I don't know what the exact stat is. Someone will make fun of me, but it's literally like basically they win every time he scores 20 plus and they don't if he doesn't.
If he scores 20 plus, their winning percentage is way higher than when he doesn't score 20 plus.
And you can see it, though, with the way they play. Like, when it gets in these tight games, he can beat anyone off the dribble with that stutter and go and the pullback and all of that. So, like, I don't know why he doesn't do it more. He was a little injured like he always is. He's another guy that's always got the freaking injury with this or that.
Though. Give him credit. He played through it.
Absolutely, he's getting credit, and he won the game for him again.
Even with that injury, in the second half, they were pretty much face guarding him the entire game. So they were making it as difficult. They wouldn't let him bring the ball up most of the time. They were right when he passed the ball, Max Strus, Okoro, they were just right in his face, just face guarding the
Okoro.
shit out of him.
Good God. I can't believe how much Okoro played. Okoro,
Yeah,
29
that was
minutes.
disgusting.
A team with Isaac Okoro playing 29 minutes and Dean Wade playing 30 and Sam Merrill playing 26 was favored by 5.5. And somehow, on top of all of this, I sent another tweet today. How in the world are the Pacers only minus 200, up 2-0 on the road? These injuries aren't going anywhere. I mean, they're not going to suddenly be gone. Even if they say they win 1 out of 2 at home, they're still up 3-1. I literally can't comprehend it. They have no respect for Indiana and the odds community.
I would take my chances up 2-0 going home for 2 games with that team, as opposed to the team that's injured. That might be better. That might be better when they're fully healthy, but they're not fully healthy. So it doesn't even matter at this point. Like, yeah,
I mean, they're definitely probably better if everyone's healthy, but still, it doesn't matter.
I talk about it all the time, though. The playoffs, everyone's not healthy all the time. So you're not getting full strength teams a lot of the time. That's just what happens in the playoffs.
That's half the battle, is just staying healthy.
Of course.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's how it goes. But I mean, I think that series is clear cut, though, just to polish that one up. I mean, you guys talked about it on the show. The game went pretty much how I thought. I mean, the Cavs, I mean, I was stunned at how bad Ty Jerome was. We've done nothing but talk at how good he is. And it was just a game. It was bad. And they were able to focus more on him with those other 3 guys out, which hurts a guy like him. And I mean, I don't know. Look at their roster, though. I mean, their roster.
He killed everyone's DFS lineups, too. Like, pretty much the people who lost or were close but lost, like, they probably had Ty Jerome instead of,
everyone not play him, though? Like, how was he not 100, just literally 100% owned? He was the easiest play ever.
Yeah, I played him. I cashed with him too. Like, you could still cash because he was so high owned.
In, like, the main tournament, it had
75.
To be, I mean, how could 25% fade him? Like, I mean, he was the easiest play of the whole playoffs, and that's just, you're not being results oriented. It's just,
I mean, he took so like he went 1 for 14 from the field in 28 minutes, Tony. Like, think about that though. Like. And he obviously lost run 2 on top of it because he was playing so bad. So he lost probably.
So bad. He looked like he was a fish out of water yesterday for some reason.
I mean, he was missing some like easy bunnies too, like easy like floater type shots that like for him should be very easy for him to make. And he just didn't have it yesterday. It was funny though on the show when I think it was Mangone who was like, "There's still 8.5-point dogs," and I go, fuck the points, man. Go and just bet the money line. They're plus 300 or 280 or something like that.
That's my move every time. I've done that for like a year. I just, like, Uncle T always says it too. Like, oh, they're plus. I said, I just taking the money line. I always take the money line.
I was just like, obviously, like in some of my parlays, I didn't do like all money lines. I did some where it was the spread.
Spreads in.
But it was just funny because watching the game, I was like, man, like oh man, this is set up for the Cavs to just roll.
Oh, yeah.
But they just never, when they got a chance to like push it to 25 or like a big number, they couldn't get over that like hump. It just felt like Indiana would just make a little run, like a 6-point run, 7-point run. Then they're back down 11. You know what I mean? And then they'd go back down like 14 or 15. And then they'd get back down to like 10. And they just stayed around that, 9 to 13-point range a lot of the time, where I'm like, man, if they just go on like one big run at the end of this game, they could steal this game. And they were very bad. Like, the Pacers were horrible in that first half. Like, they were so really bad. I mean, think about this. In the third quarter, Tony, they had a lineup with Jarris Walker, Obi Toppin, Thomas Bryant, TJ McConnell, and Benedict Mathurin on the floor. So they had 3 dudes that definitely couldn't shoot. Toppin, who, he's okay, and then Benny Mathurin. They literally like 3 guys out there that couldn't shoot. It's like the worst lineup ever.
I don't get it. Why does he have to play that many guys?
I don't know why.
Do you really need to play Ben Shepherd 6 minutes and Jarris Walker 3? Do you really need to do that?
The only thing I'll say about that is, at one point in the first half, I think he was trying to find something. So he was like, okay,
He's
let me see
always
if
trying
Ben's.
to find something.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I mean,
I
you
know.
really need to play that many dudes, and I'm saying that, and they freaking won the first series in 5, and they're up 2-0. So obviously he knows what he's doing. It's just, I just
Again, though,
don't
like
get it.
they won a game where Pascal only played 30 minutes.
Pascal stinks. We've
he was
always
bad.
said Pascal stinks.
But again, he was 5 for 8 from the field. He really didn't get a lot of opportunities to like
It's
actually.
how he is. He doesn't go. He just
They
doesn't.
don't give him the ball. They don't like actually feed him though is the problem. Like they don't actually give him the rock is the issue with him. Like everything's about the pick and pop with Turner and Nemhard and Halliburton, and they don't really give him like actual opportunities to score one-on-one, which I was like, dude's got Isaac Okoro and Max Struss on him. Like if there's any time where Pascal should be able to score, it should be then. And he like they just wouldn't give him the ball.
Even when he gets it, he shoots his weak little fadeaway and like, oh God.
That's something to note though, Tony. Like he's just one of those guys. Like he's just not a big part. Like it's these ball handlers. It's these perimeter guys, like the guards. Andrew Nemhard was okay, like offensively. He was 0 for 4 from 3, but like he was awesome, like assists, rebounds.
Him and Neesmith were awesome.
They were huge, because Halliburton wasn't good. I know we talk about it. Like, he wasn't really that good. He hit the big shot.
He was awful until the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, and he sat for a really long time in that first half. I was
he
like,
still
sitting
only
there
played
like
36. He wasn't in foul trouble when he only played 36.
Yeah, and Craig, I'm gonna try not to do it again. That was definitely me. I was like, once I saw all those guys out, I was like, if Pascal can't eat against these guys, then I don't know. I played Pascal, so and he couldn't. So that was the thing. But again, like I still cashed
because in there because as I was building, like there were so many different times I put him in there, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I just can't let myself hit submit because I just hate him.
But I had that
Miles Turner 7K too, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I had that Miles Turner Jared Allen combo, which was like key. It was like crucial to have that combo. I felt like, but so whatever. We go on to the next day, but it's just things to note, like for going forward.
I don't even know what the Cavs can do. I don't understand how it's 2-1. I mean, just looking at it, it's only going to get worse unless these guys are truly like not long-term things. Like if Garland and Mobley play next game or something, I mean, obviously that helps a lot.
Oh, it definitely helps.
Just say they come back. Like say somehow they both play and somehow they win game 3, then it's a lot more open for interpretation, but still. They can't be healthy. They just can't be.
What was funny is I heard Atkinson after say one of his biggest regrets was actually not playing more guys, not playing more like guys off the that's what he said. He said that was one of my
roster. Jalen Tyson, Tristan Thompson.
He said I condensed the rotation too much, and I wish I didn't do that. Is what is quote I'm pretty sure was. So I don't know what that was.
I mean, I could kind of see it. I mean, he only played 7 guys really, and then Javonte.
It's not like Donnie played 44 minutes or something. Like he played 35, and I know when he was out there, he was like constantly attacking and stuff like that. But he only played 35 minutes in a game where they needed him to play 40. Like I know he was like getting crushed and fouled and, constantly on the ground and stuff. But I honestly think that's what killed. Like they needed him out there for certain spots. And he just, for whatever reason, they only ran him 35 minutes. I think that's what really hurt them, honestly.
What does this even mean, TG? Whoever suggests Jerome needs to be fired, what does that mean for the staff? Or like, what does that even mean?
What anyone who suggests Jerome in their staff,
anyone who doesn't play Jerome
for DFS is correct. The dude shot 14 times. If you tell me my 5,300 dude is shooting 14 times in 28 minutes, I'm playing that guy, Tony. On top of it, he's going to handle the ball. I'm
Stuff
also
like
playing
this
that
isn't
guy.
even like you don't even need to like talk about. Like if you didn't play Jerome, you're bad. Like it's that simple. Like it's
well, no, I mean like guys have bad games all the time. Like you can have a bad game, but that doesn't mean it was a bad play.
Yeah, I mean, The Jerome, the chat was just on full tilt about it yesterday too. The Discord when I was in there, and it's like, guys, I mean, I don't, yeah, we don't need to talk anymore about
guy. Well,
Jerome.
you know what it was though, Tony? Everyone had like the best lineup, but with Ty Jerome. So like my lineup's crushing. It's got 5 Cavs in it or 6 Cavs in it, but it's got Ty Jerome.
Let me J50. Let me check my notes. Let's see who where's it at?
Oh,
JSU
yeah,
Porzingis, baby.
Let's get to the sick one, Porzingis. Let's go. I want to hear it right now. Let's talk about it. The 13 minutes he played, he was sick. Let's hear it, Tony.
Let's finish the other series yesterday first.
Last night. You really want to talk about the worst game I've ever watched? I want to
talk about it because I literally cannot believe what I was watching. I can't believe it. This is what Minnesota does to me. Every time I get my hopes up on this team, they'll just have a game like this, and it's like, what in the world are we doing? I was so confident Minnesota, and if I'm being honest, like in my head, I'm like, Minnesota's probably gonna win the title. They're just look so good to me. And then they come and they do that. I mean, what in the world was that?
Honestly, I'm still super confident after what I saw because they just played horrible, and they
played
still
worse than horrible.
And they still had a chance to come back at the end. I was like, if they win this game after this terrible performance, like that was the craziest thing ever. Is at the end of the game, Golden State, or in the third quarter, Golden State needed Buddy Hield to really bail them out again. Buddy Hield has now bailed Golden State out in 2 big games, game 7 and game 1 in Minnesota when Steph Curry goes out after 13 minutes. Remember, Buddy Hield had 2 points or 0 points, I can't remember, going into that third quarter, and then just erupted when Minnesota was slowly starting to do a little better offensively. Still not great, but a little better offensively. But dude, Ant wouldn't drive to Ant figured out in the third quarter, I can just like get to the rim whenever I want to. Like I can just do this. I don't have to shoot threes and stuff, all the time. And he did it in the third quarter and in the fourth a little bit, but it was one of the worst offensive performances I've seen. And honestly, Golden State was pretty bad too. They were lucky Draymond was hitting threes in the first half and Buddy saved their ass in the second half.
I mean, it's a lot of defense too. Like, look at their scores though. Like the Warriors in the first series gave up 85, 93, 93. Game 7, 89.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up. Is that all 4 of their wins? All 4 of their wins in the first series, they gave up 93 or less.
When they win, it's about defense.
Huh?
When they win, it's about defense.
That's
for
insane
sure.
Numbers though. Like insane. What are they doing?
I mean, they're not winning with offense. They're winning with defense. That's why when Jimmy was they were interviewing him after, all he could talk about was Steph's their best player. It's way easier to play basketball when he's on the floor. And like, yeah, no shit, dude. Because you know that your offense is screwed without Steph unless you play like out of your mind offensively. And it's just like, we'll see if that happens.
Minnesota, I think, what do we bet them at? Minus 190 or something?
They were minus 170 or 175.
Whatever it was. Yeah, less than 200, whatever we get. And they lose game 1 at home, and they're still minus 150. Granted, Steph's out probably for at least a couple games, but to still be minus 150 when it was only minus 170 right away, and you lost the game at home, I mean, that shows you that the odds makers aren't worried either about anything. But
odds makers are definitely looking at the Steph injury going, we're not getting screwed by this. Like he's out. Like, and Steph is out. Like he's not playing next game. He probably won't play.
They really have a gap though either, right? Like he's gonna. I mean, I think it's only each day. So you got.
What do you mean each day? What do you mean?
Like you got another game tomorrow.
Yep.
There's they don't have the weird. There's no weird gaps. It's every other day for them.
Yeah, they're the only game tomorrow. So they're yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Like some of the other series, you get like an extra day off here and there. Theirs is like they just keep going, which is terrible for the Warriors.
It's really bad. So for me personally, I don't think he plays Thursday or Saturday.
I think he's
I
done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, best case scenario, I think they already won one game, Tony. So if they lose the next two, like game 4, I think would be like the best case scenario. He's back. I think
And
is
that's
like
freaking
complete.
like that's what Thursday. So that's Monday. Like
And
he's
that's
not back by
assuming
Monday.
and that's assuming he has like a not so serious hamstring strain, kind of like what Drew Holiday had, which I'm assuming that's what he had, but who knows? Maybe it'll come out that it's worse than they thought or something like that. But I feel like, Drew played on it after he did it for the rest of that game and then was out for the next couple games, right, Tony? Like Steph, he came right out. Like he did not play on it for more than like 2 minutes. So that could make a difference. We'll see. But yeah, Halliburton's baller.
The other thing
Drew's
about
got 3 legs. He definitely has 3 legs. That's for sure.
He had 3 legs. I don't know if he still has 3 legs.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, the other thing we got to talk about, our boy Pat Spencer, man. This guy, what a
hero.
If I'm Kerr, like, you're gonna laugh at this. With Steph out, I swear to God, I think about popping him in that starting lineup. He's got so much confidence.
No. Don't do that. Keep him off the bench. But I would play him.
This cocky, man. This dude thinks he is. He thinks he's the best dude in the world. I guarantee in his head he thinks he's better than Steph. Like this dude is on a different level.
Yeah, he is, and the way they talk about him too, they definitely like this kid.
How could you not? How could you not?
I love him.
I guarantee they all love him.
Yeah, I love him. I talked him up yesterday for Showdown. I mean, obviously he got lucky because the game didn't like blow out the way we thought to get the run. Steph obviously got hurt, so we did get a little lucky. But it's just like this dude is good.
He's had games. I mean, he when he plays, he pops off, which is all you want in Showdown.
And on top of it, you get the luxury of if Minnesota does blow him out next game, he's still going to get run. So you get it either way. He's getting run either way now. He becomes like the best Showdown cheap guy, Tony, because I don't think he starts.
Yeah, I mean, I was half joking about them starting him. They're not going to do that, but still.
But I will say, I think they start Gary Payton is what they do. They'll start Gary Payton. And then Pat Spencer is one of the first couple guys that comes in, and he gets like real run. I think you're going to see a lot of point Jimmy though, kind of like we saw at the end of yesterday's game. I think you'll see a lot of point Jimmy. I'm with you.
Play 13 guys too, in a game that wasn't really even a blowout.
He's going to now because now one of the guys he plays all the time, Steph, is out.
It's crazy, though.
Think about it. He's not like he doesn't have to play Podziemski 40 minutes. He could, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to play Buddy Hield 40 minutes. He could.
He has to if he keeps making every shot.
Well, but I'm saying like Jimmy's the only guy, and Draymond are the guys that he'll play 40 minutes no matter almost anything, unless it's like foul trouble or something like that. Like outside of foul trouble, all these other guys, if they're playing bad, Kerr don't give a shit. He'll put fucking Braxton Key in there if he thinks Braxton Key can give him a boost. Like that's Steve Kerr right there. So that Showdown's going to be wild because it's the only game, Tony. So it's going to be a fun Showdown because who knows what Steve Kerr does? I do think he plays 12 guys at least.
I mean, he will for sure. He played 13 in the first game.
Yeah,
so he's definitely going to play 12. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yep, he might play 15 and they're punting. They could easily punt game too. Like if Minnesota was just so bad, we just got to throw that game out. We just got to throw that game out. I'm not even worried.
I mean, I'm not either. It was just when you're watching it, it's like, my God, what are we doing? Like, what is this?
I think they had like one of the worst 3-point shooting percentages of any playoff game like ever. and they told Ant and Julius that or something, and they just started laughing, like outwardly just laughing, like, dude,
I
we
love
were
that
that
dude that
bad.
sent the tweet that said the 100 Timberwolves versus the 3-point line. How they keep talking about the 100 men versus the gorilla. or
That last night they were losing that battle. I'll tell you that.
I mean, what was that? I still can't believe what it was. And the crazy part is Ant still had 52 fantasy points. I mean, he
I don't
was
know
not
how.
aggressive at all until the end.
I don't know how he had 52. I mean,
He
I know
just
he got a
finally,
bunch of
like you
layups.
said, in the second half, he just realized he can get a layup whenever he wants.
Dude, and he's so deceptive too. He's got that like hard step when he wants to take it and then goes the opposite way. And he can do it with either foot and he can go left and right into the paint.
That
And
slide step's nasty that you're talking about. Where most guys Euro to the right, he slide steps to the left,
he
and it's like
slide steps to the
nasty.
left. And it's so fast, dude. It's
Oh,
so
it's nasty.
deceptive. I'm watching the game, Tony, and I'm like, he's about to do it. Like, I can tell he's about to do it. So obviously the defender probably can too. But that just tells you how sick it is that, like, you know it's coming and you still can't fucking stop it.
That's what's changed in basketball since, like, when people compare the eras, people didn't used to do that. Like, there used to be a jump stop. Like, people would go in and jump stop. Now they're Euroing, they're slide stepping. Like, it's a different planet.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the evolution when you just watch it. Like, it's
that
just
slide step's nasty,
so crazy.
like nasty.
And he is like perfected it. I haven't seen anyone do it like him. Like,
no
he's
one
the
does it
best
like
at it
him.
right now. Anyways, I think he's
not
the
really.
best at it.
I mean, everyone just Euros. He's one of the only ones that slide steps.
Yeah, whoever like got him to do that, like whoever got him like working on that, like, man,
There's
he's
just
so
no
good
way you
at
can
it.
stop it unless you literally just guess right and slide the right way. But he's just going to Euro if you slide too quick.
Imagine though, like getting an Ant's ear at halftime and just be like, dude, just attack. Don't settle. Just attack. Even if you miss layups. Like, I know he missed some layups in the game, but like, still, don't let that deter you. Just keep doing it. Like, keep
I
missing
still say
layups.
the same thing every time, too. They just can't play Rudy. Play Nas Reed. And Rudy was decent, but he just kills them on offense.
Rudy was decent. Just remember, guys, all the big Rudy guys out there, remember this. Who was sitting on the bench with 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go in a game where they needed some buckets? Rudy can't be out there. Rudy was sitting on the bench. And I agree with
series.
And I agree with Tony. He was actually decent when he was out there. Like, he made a few moves offensively where I was like, damn, Rudy, you just bullied someone. I didn't know you. I
he
didn't
bullied
know.
like 6'7", like some 6'7" dude, and like,
yeah, and I didn't know he could do that. God. Honestly, like,
you didn't know he could dunk. I mean, he drop step dunked. You knew he could do that.
I didn't even know he could dunk. I don't know. I don't know. I would do that move all day long to JSU on the slab. Yeah, Dub KJ. Get out of here. You wouldn't do that move. I'd foul the shit out of you, Dub KJ. I'd foul. Tony knows I'd foul the shit out of
Jimmy,
you.
He did dunk it on Jimmy that time. Jimmy is way smaller, though. Like, way smaller.
Like, so much smaller, too. Like,
and Nas is perfect. Like, Rudy, you don't need Rudy in a series where Draymond's just going to go to the perimeter. They don't have a big. You can't play Rudy when there's no big because Draymond can easily hide on him on offense too. Like, it's just, man, I don't think you can play Rudy. I mean, I'm a Rudy hater though, so it is what it is. I don't see how you can play him in this series.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, again, though, they're not going to play many games where they're down like that, in my opinion, in this series. So,
yeah.
like,
I mean, they probably won't play another one. They're probably going to win 4-1.
Think about it. Like, I'm going to keep saying this, but like, everything without Steph went kind of perfectly for Golden State.
More than perfect.
And they won by 11.
What's the odds of 4-1 is the question. How do you find that? What are the odds of 4-1?
I will find it right now for you.
So they're going to win 4-1, I think.
So if you go into DK Sportsbook and you go to, let's see, series markets here, correct score. So if you go to DK Sportsbook, you go to NBA, find series markets. It's next to team futures, and then you want to click correct score, and then you can find all of the series and the 4-1s, 4-2s. So Minnesota 4-1 is plus 400 right now.
Yeah, only plus 400. See, this is where I always like dictate what the odds are, though, to bet something.
What do you think? Like the high, like the lowest are?
I mean, it's bad. It's a bad bet.
4-3 is plus 280. 4-3 Minnesota is plus 280.
These are bad bets. Like that. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be. That's terrible. I think they probably will, but you don't get near a good enough price.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-2 series now that they dropped this one.
They're gonna win another one. Like I don't.
When Steph if Steph comes back,
coming back.
Well, then they're gonna lose them all, and it's probably gonna be 4-1 if that's the case.
Yeah, there's not enough time off. I mean, literally next Wednesday's game 5. That's 1 week.
I'm just telling you, dude. These guys are different. They're not like you and me. We pull a hamstring, we're out for like weeks. You know,
I'm putting it on the notepad next to JSU Porzingis.
You're saying that Steph's out for the entire series. That's what you're saying?
Unless it goes like 7 or something. Game 5's next Wednesday.
No, you can't make. Wait, it's a timeout.
No,
you can't
make on the notebook right here.
You can't change it though after the fact. You can't say timeout. You can't say he's not going to be in for the series and then go unless it goes 7 guys. Well, then that's a little different.
On the notebook, Steph, no more games next to JSU Porzingis.
So you're saying that no matter how long it goes, he's not playing another game.
He's done.
Oh, okay, that was different than what you just tried to. You tried to weasel your way out.
Game 4.
No, I said that's the best case scenario. Like,
no, you just made me say, okay, when's he coming back then, Mr. Medical? When's he coming back?
I'm not Mr. Medical. I'm just saying.
Get on the record. When's he coming back? This show's about predictions. When's he coming?
Okay, is it just a simple? If it's just a simple right hand,
your prediction. When does he come back?
I will say game 4 or 5.
No, same thing you just told me. You get 2 games.
Well, I'm not saying game 7. I'm not
prediction.
saying it's not a cop out though, because I'm not saying this.
Prediction.
Dude, wait,
right
timeout.
No more games. It's on the notepad.
You said no more games this series, right? So you have this whole
series.
More
games next to Porzingis.
Okay, so what's the difference if I say game 4 or 5?
That's 2 games.
So if he comes back game 6, am I like that wrong?
Yeah.
Is the question?
Pick game 6.
you go, yeah.
There's not going to be a game 6, but pick game
All right,
6.
fine. Game 5, book it.
He's
back.
Go. Game 5, he's in. Game 5, next Wednesday.
Yeah, game 5. It's going to come out too, like 2 days later. It's going to come out like he tore his hamstring and he's out for like a year and a half or something like that.
I think he's done.
No, he didn't do that. Doctors, all right, Matty Ice, relax there, Dr. Johnny Sins. I'm not that kind of doctor either. I can't play that many roles. That guy can play. All the roles. I can't do that. All right, Tony. Before you get to Porzingis in these games here, I got to get your take because you asked me to remind you, and you weren't on the show yesterday to talk about this. But you wanted to touch on it, which was OKC Denver game 1 fouling when you were up 3. We've talked about it a ton of times on the shows before, but a lot of people came out after they did that because they lost and said pretty much that was the wrong thing to do. The players defended the coach and the strategy behind it. SGA and Jalen did. But I mean, you know my opinion on this too. Like, I don't know why a team wouldn't foul up 3. Like, I simply don't understand the other side. And no matter what happens, when you lose that way, people are going to say you did it wrong. When you win, though, no one's like, oh, you did that right. They'll just be like, oh, whatever. Like, but it's either right or wrong. Like, I either do it all the time and we execute it, or, we don't execute it. OKC didn't execute, but I thought they did it the right way. They just didn't make free throws. Yeah,
it's like the OKC coaching staff was talking about afterwards, too. It's like, you just got to do it every time. And I wish we could have the numbers. Someone out there smarter than me would have to do it because I wouldn't even know where to begin. But I would love to know the numbers of – and, again, you can nitpick some of the stuff, too, like, I'm always fouling up 3, even in freaking 4th grade basketball where they can't hit threes the same way. I'm still just fouling. Like, I'm just fouling. Because when you foul, I mean, everyone's heard this argument a million times.
Dude, I could just see you with Grayson's team telling him to foul up three. I could just see you doing
I've done it plenty of times. Because, like, no matter what, again, it's as simple as that to me. You need one thing to happen. If you're down 3, what do you want? I'll use it even as the fourth down example in football. If I'm the other team, what do I want? I don't want them fouling me. I want to be able to shoot a 3. I want to be able to tie it. I do not want them fouling me, because then I'm going to have to first of all, you got to make the first free throw. People always forget that. You got to make the first free throw and then miss the second and get the rebound and score. You need three or four things to happen, or I can just go down and make a 3. And you know what? Everyone has end of game plays too, where you're going to set up something to get a good look for 3. So, like, it's even better. Like, I don't even understand the other side of it. The only nitpick at all, which other people have said too, is like, they did do it a little quick for me. And I know it was because like Draymond, or not Draymond. I was drawing a ball. Who'd they foul? They fouled
Aaron Gordon.
Who I get it that it was him. But with Jokic on the sideline and not being able to come back in, I would at least make him dribble a little bit before I foul. But still, I'm just fouling. And you got Gordon. It wasn't Murray or whoever. But still, I mean, I think, and Jokic, another thing too, I didn't understand why they took him out. I get the fouls, and I get that you're going to foul. Do it like you did on the next. Just put him on the ball. Let him get his big body.
He didn't make that mistake again. I don't know if Jokic said something to him like, dude, I'm not coming out of this game again. No,
he did tell him, I think. He's like, dude, just let me go on the ball. I'm not going to foul no matter what. Just let me guard the ball.
And honestly,
he's perfect to guard the ball anyways.
He kind of guarded the ball for a sec, but then he turned his back and tried to shade SGA when he went like his way, which is what he should do. Because if I'm that team, I want anyone but SGA catching that ball to shoot free throws. I'm cool with any other person because they're all young pretty much outside of Caruso. Like, they're all young guys. It's like, give me Chet. Yeah, I know they're still decent free throw shooters, but give me any of those young guys over SGA. Like, he's the one guy I don't want catching the ball.
Yeah.
So with like the Knicks, I don't want.
I even told Grayson, I'm like, I hope they throw it to Chet. And they threw it to Chet because I knew he was going to choke. I could see it in his eyes. He's not clutch. I could see it in his eyes.
You saw it. You say he's going to miss both of them.
He didn't want the smoke. He threw up two paint peelers with the game on the line.
I'll say it too. Once you miss that first one, that second one becomes so tough. I don't care who you are.
It doesn't like actually mean that much either. Where I mean, it does mean something because you go good at 2 and win still. But
right,
you're just so devastated, and you're like, man, I can't believe I missed that. Now we can lose no matter what. Like, you're thinking it in your head, and then you miss another one.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I mean, I'm just always fouling up 3. Yeah, the rest of life, I don't even understand the other side of it. I don't get it. You can't be results. I've seen a million teams lose because the team makes a 3 and go to overtime. It just happened last week with the Knicks or whoever it was last week. I mean, it happens all the time.
Honestly, when Halliburton went for that step back 3 in a way, I was thinking like, man, I wish this was like the 3-point example so we could talk about it again and he tied it as opposed to like
won it soon. So we'll get another chance. It'll definitely happen again where a team won't foul.
Thinking about that though, too, that's another thing. Like, why did you go for the fake? Like, why wouldn't you make him drive? Because if he hits a 2, worst case scenario, it's tied. I'll never understand why people will like they'll go for the jab or the fake when he tries to like, you know, step back. Like, make him drive. Like, make him actually do it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why
they do that. Everyone wants to shoot a 3, so like, it's make him get to the rim and finish.
Everyone wants to win the game too, especially someone like Halliburton. Like, he's got the stones to pull it back and shoot a 3. It's kind of like Brunson, like all those guys. Like, yeah, exactly. But Big T was right. Steph's going to be out for a while. That's from Sam. Raul says, I'm wrong and you're wrong. He's coming back next game. So
next game
or game 3, I think he said. Maybe he said game 3.
I mean, game 2, the one thing 100%, sir. There is no chance he's playing game 2. Unless he's got Kobe's doctor from China or whoever he used to get all the secret medical stuff from.
Hey, you never know. Yeah, Steph Curry could have that
if he somehow played game 2 up 1-0 on the road, I'd be the most stunned I've ever been probably about an injury.
Yeah, no, he said game 3. I don't think it's going to be game 3, especially with the 1-0 lead. I think that's another thing that plays into it. Even if he felt better before game 3 and he was like pushing the staff, but they're like, no,
and it's
like
the freaking Warriors, man. They're always going to be safer. They'll always play in the long game.
Cautious, exactly. That's why I went to game 5. I was like, I could be really aggressive, but like I think game 5 is like, think about it. By game 5, they have 1 win, so they could be down 3-1. Where Steph's like, dude, if you don't let me play now, like, and we lose, we're done anyways. Like, let me go play at 75%. Or 80%, right? It's better than losing and we're out. And I think at that point, Tony, the coaching staff will be like a little more like okay with him taking a chance at that point because their season's on the line. So
yeah, definitely.
But we'll see. We'll see who's right and wrong. Let's get to these games now, Tony. We got 2 games again on the slate here. Starting out with the Celtics and the Knicks. A game we didn't really touch on a ton, but another game, like we talked about it that day about how the Celtics can shoot themselves into games and completely out of games and shoot themselves in the foot. And what happened, Tony? They went up, what was it, 23 or 25 or something like that? And then they just collapsed. And it was exactly what I said. I hope some people bet it because it went exactly the way I talked about. The Knicks came back. They won a game they shouldn't have won. Porzingis left 13 minutes in with some type of sickness. I don't know what's going on with him. He's got an illness. He's had an illness like all year, I guess. It's like the same thing. He just hasn't been able to like completely shake it, apparently. I don't know what it is, but you got to talk about it. Talk about Porzingis. Check your notepad.
Let me check the notepad real quick.
Take your victory lap off a 13-minute illness. Here we go.
When you pulled Porzingis out last show, I couldn't believe it when you said it. Not a lot. We've done a lot of shows together. Not a lot surprises me with you when you talk, but that got me off guard. I was definitely caught off guard. Not a lot
surprises me with you.
Yeah, that caught me off guard though when you went in on the old zinger. But hopefully he's cheaper tonight so you can play him again. Did they give him cheaper for you? I hope we can run it back. Tell me he's like
he is
5K.
Cheaper. He's 6,100 now.
Yeah.
He's 6,300.
Keep making him cheaper. Just tempt JSU. Give him that temptation to fire him in there again.
It's gonna kill me when he drops like 40. It's gonna happen.
Too.
I know it's gonna happen.
You get off
but,
of him.
But he's sick. Like, how is he playing again? I don't get it. Like, he was sick. Like, he couldn't even.
What is even wrong with the guy anyway? It's like, what illness are we talking about? Like, what?
I don't know. Dude, do you remember in the regular season, he was out for a really long time and they like couldn't, it was an illness. Like they couldn't figure it out. I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
So just talking about today's slate too, like I don't know how to handle 2 games that I feel should be blowouts. Like, how do we attack it is the question. So on DraftKings, you got a $20 tournament, $100,000 to first, $400K prize pool. How do we attack that? Like, there's got to be some way we can leverage the field. Again, there's so many people that play 150 teams these days that are going to run projections normal, not factor in blowouts, which honestly is probably the right way to do it. I'm not saying it's not, but we're speaking to the people that might play 3 entries tonight for $60, trying to win 100K and not playing the long game, doing it more for like gambling to have fun and bet on it. There's got to be a way we can attack these games because let's face it, I would be stunned if one of these games was not a blowout, let alone both stay close. Like one of these games has to be a big blowout, probably both though. Even with my Nuggets, this is a clear blowout spot for both teams. Both are favored by double digits, both down 1-0, and you got the rest thing too. Like Denver's still coming off a 7-game series and the game 1 win. Like, let's face it, these are blowout spots. Can one stay close though? So I think there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can go one heavy build where you just hope one game stays close, you jam it, play the scrubs, and that's what we always do, right? Maybe we take it one step further though. And again, I'm just talking about the $20 tournament, $100K to first, people that are wanting to do that and have some fun, kind of like Showdown where we talk about it, where just treat it like you're going on a date with someone. You fire it in there a little weird, but what if we build both games to be blowouts and see how would we build? Say you think both games are 20 plus tonight. How would you build that team if you thought that was going to happen?
Well, one, I would obviously be heavier on the team that's going to win, but I think I would look at some of the cheapies from the team that's going to lose. It's like, okay, who could catch extra run? Maybe some guys that could also play, that could also catch some extra run, like a Miles McBride type of play. He was decent last time. Also, like if we're talking the Boston game specifically, maybe a guy like Peyton Pritchard gets a little more run if it's like more of a blowout style. You know what I mean? Guys like Drew Holiday would get hurt. I think like guys like Al Horford would get hurt. And then like the studs for the Knicks would definitely get hurt in a blowout. You know what I mean? Because you're paying premium price tags, even though they've gotten cheaper, which is kind of the crazy thing with the Knicks is they've gotten even cheaper from last time out. But that's just going to make more people want to play them, right, Tony? So
Right.
I talk about this all the time with 2-game slates, but like if you build the team and you completely fade one of the of the 4 teams on the slate, you just have no one from one of the 4 teams, that right there is going to be a little different because people want to play a guy from every team. You don't like realize it when you're built but people want to do that naturally. So getting builds where you play like 5 or 6 from one team, like people did with the Cavs yesterday or stuff like it's going to be somewhat different when you go like the extreme route where you start fading a whole team or an entire starting lineup and you're just playing like scrubs. So that's the way I would look at it personally. And you could do it where you build like an all OKC, all Boston team and fade the other 2 teams if you really want to get like crazy with it.
I just think there's so many options, and I think it's hilarious that everyone in the chat loves Denver now. Like Denver's just gonna mop this team.
I know, and I love OKC in this spot.
I don't know how you wouldn't love OKC tonight.
Again, though, this is the difference, right? I bet Denver for the series. I like Denver in the series. I liked them before game 1. Like we bet them. I said this was a better matchup in my opinion for them. Just because I think it was more of a mismatch for Yoke, in my opinion. But whatever. They're still they're not gonna sweep this team. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be a
might
Denver,
be my burner here. This dude's coming in hot on the Nuggets. It's playoffs. He's loving them in there. I love the energy. I hope you're right, buddy. I'll be happy if Denver does it. What we just
that's the best thing.
Them?
That's the best thing, though. Like, if Denver does win, I'll be happy for my series bets.
Yeah. I mean, if they win the first 2 on the road, I mean.
Yeah. Until those injuries.
Like this, everyone in the chat is saying exactly what I'm saying. Like, yeah, okay, Denver, let's look at it. Yo, same thing as last game. All these prices are the same exact thing as Monday. Everyone is underpriced. Jokic's 11K.
Same thing.
Gordon and Brown in the 5Ks. Yes, those guys are too cheap. Everyone is going to play this way, though. You're not listening. $20. All these 150 players are playing all these guys at the proper clips. You're not going to get any different in a $20 tournament just playing Jokic, Brown, Gordon. Those are my 3 favorite plays of the night. Like, I love those 3 guys. But you just got to factor it in. There's got to be some game theory when you're a three entry player playing for $100 tonight, you cannot just go in and run it like that on a slate like this where both spreads are 11, 12 points. I just, you're doing it wrong if you do that. I hope, believe me, like JSU says, I hope the Nuggets come in and roll them. I'll be plenty happy if that happens tonight. It's not going to happen though. OKC was the top team all year. They played bad game one. They're gonna. I don't. I mean,
they played bad game one. I personally think they need to condense more. If I'm OKC, I think they play too much with their bench a little bit. Like you know, Caruso's the guy you need to play. Like maybe stop playing an Isaiah Joe or a Cason Wallace or something like that. Get even a little more condensed. Jalen Williams with a Y only played like 3 minutes, so it's not like he was playing a ton. But like seriously, you played 10 guys in that game. You played 10 guys. That's a lot of guys in the playoffs, and I think they need to really condense out. Now, if it's a blowout, though, Tony, they won't do that, right? Obviously, if it's like a blowout,
I think the Thunder are pretty stubborn too. Like in game two, I mean, you heard the coach. I mean, we agree with the fouling up three, but you could hear his response. Like we've done this all year. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to change a lot early on.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
now, don't get me wrong. If they get down again and they lose, he could definitely change his tune in a hurry. Yeah. But they're only down 1-0. They're still at home. I'm giving the sales pitch against my Nuggets, but believe me, it's a playoff series, guys. No one.
So go back to this game here real quick. Like if you fade almost every New York starter, you don't think that's going to be different on its own?
Well, yeah, it's going to be different because you look at these prices, and this is the same for all the teams. But I mean, OG off that game is $6K. He's got to be owned. Josh Hart's cheap. Cat should be cheap because he sucks. But Jalen Brunson's 8,200. If you fade these guys, if you just fade all of the Knicks, which I kind of agree tonight that it's a tough spot for these Knicks, I just think you're definitely fading a lot of the field. And like you said, if it's a blowout, which we think it is, who gets credit? Deuce McBride is the top of the list, 3,100, because he could play in a normal game and a blowout. And Precious, we talked about him on the show. He actually played. He only played, 5 minutes, but he played 5 minutes. Yeah. And in a blowout, you got to think they dust him off a little bit. He's cheap, but I do agree with the chat too, like Redmond, still play Jokic. You need raw points too at some point. So you still need, if we think both these games blow out, you still need raw points, which could mean Jokic gets 43 and it's on the winner. So absolutely,
Jokic could still get there in 3 quarters by
easily,
the way.
And still be the top guy. Well, 100%.
Let's not be crazy here. So Jokic could definitely, honestly, like the guy who's going to give you the raw points, even in a blowout, is SGA. Like, because honestly, in a blowout,
you're gonna have to play SGA tonight. Like, there's no way around that.
But I'm just saying, like, look at the Memphis game where it completely blew out that first game or whatever. SGA's lowest performance in the playoffs. He only scored like 30 and stuff. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, you know, when they blow a team out, it's more of like that's the one thing with OKC. Like they'll do the whole team thing where everyone gets a little and stuff, or it's going to be all SGA. So, you know,
another guy that just looking at the roster and how we can get different. The guy that I think you have to fade in our situation, we're talking about a couple entries in the 20. You got to fade Caruso. He's going to be so high owned. So high owned at 4,300, and he could bust. He's still a guy that has a low floor for sure. At that ownership, though, on a slate so he's 4,300. You know how many cheap guys could outscore him on this slate in blowout type scenarios? A lot. Like that, you can lever. I mean, this dude's going to be above 50% owned after that game.
A guy that's a perfect example. Aaron Wiggins is 3,200 in that game. And the one game they blew Memphis out in, he went from playing 15 minutes to 26 minutes.
30 fantasy points.
30 fantasy, but he's got that.
There's your example right there. Caruso played 12 minutes, 9 fantasy points. Aaron Wiggins, 26, 30 fantasy points.
And it's a good point to bring up, Tony. In a blowout, Caruso gets hurt the most maybe on this team.
Oh, definitely the most.
Coming off the bench, And then his runs getting condensed because they don't want him out there in a blowout because they actually value him even though he comes off the bench. So that's
he's
another
definitely the worst as far as tournament. He's the worst play of the night, 100%.
Yeah, even though he's great because if it's close, he's gonna play. Right, but in our scenario,
everyone's gonna have him too. Like everyone, he's gonna be so high owned.
Another guy who I think like honestly kind of fits the blowout script a little bit is kind of another pivot off of him, and I hate playing this guy, but he's another pivot off of Caruso, which is Lou Dort. When OKC blows teams out, he hits threes. Like he just does. He hits threes, like because they're wide open.
Put another note on the page. We can't play Lou Dort.
Well, I gotta play multiple OKC guys. You just have to on this slate.
But you're playing SGA for sure. You just talked about Wiggins. I mean, you're gonna want to play. I mean, you're not gonna play Hartenstein.
I'm gonna probably play Jokic or Tatum, right?
Yeah.
Like I gotta play one of those two. So you're gonna need some cheap guys, though, is my point. Like you're gonna need a couple cheap guys.
The cheap guys are going to be easy, though, because we got our blow. Just say you play SGA, you play Jokic, and you play – I mean, who's another stud we would play? Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum.
Like you still have 4K per spot with those three in there. Like,
yeah, but how many spots we got left? 5? What is it, 5 now? Those were three spots?
But, like, you're going to play – in our build, you're definitely going to play Deuce McBride. I mean, there's no way around that at 3,100. So now you're at 4,200 for 4 players. I mean, you're sitting Wiggins. You brought up the Wiggins play. I mean, now you're at 4,600 for 3 spots. I mean, you are so flexible.
Yeah, you are.
You might even be able to fit a 4th stud on a build like this, like on another team that we like Jalen Williams or something,
or someone like that. You mean?
Williams? I mean, or Derek White or just guys like that where you could fit another pretty good guy in a build like that. Why no one in a blowout SGA is a bad play? Why, Victor? I mean, the chat's killing me today. I'm gonna be honest. The chat, I couldn't disagree more with the chat. Why is SGA a bad play? It's a 2-game slate.
Well, in multiple blowouts though, you can't fade all these guys. You got to play some studs for the raw points.
49 when they blew the only game he didn't crush was when they literally won by 60. I mean, they're not beating the Nuggets by 60.
Yeah, but SGA is still going to get at least 3/4 of run. And 3/4
no one's getting the full run in the build we're talking about. No one's getting full run. Both games are blowouts.
So in the scenario we're talking about where both games blow out and no one – literally repeat this. Nobody gets full run in these.
And I think both games do blow out. And somehow it's making me more convinced. This is what happens to you and DC on these shows when I argue. Like the chat keeps saying it. It's making me like the blowouts even more.
Yeah.
Somehow no one thinks these games are blowing out. I don't get it.
The guy who plays I'll tell you though, the guy who plays the most even in a blowout is probably Tatum.
Tatum, Tatum's going to be tough not to. Tatum and
Boston's
SGA are going to be tough to not play.
Boston's going to put the stamp of approval on this game. They're not losing no 25-point. Like they are putting the stamp of approval on this. They know even what happened last quarter.
They're still like just going to pound this team.
I'll tell you, Joe Mazzulla is probably going to play Tatum until like the 6-minute mark, up 30, and we're going to be like, why is he doing that? It's like, oh, wait. Yeah, that's why, because they just lost.
And they've lost plenty of leads like that. They have to know it. Of course.
Yeah, Andrew, I think Pritchard fits this script 100%. I think, even Jaylen Brown, well, we didn't talk about Jaylen Brown, but like Jaylen Brown, I mean, he shot 1 for 10 from 3. That's another thing with these Boston guys. Like Jaylen Brown, Derek White, they're going to keep shooting these shots. Like those shots are the shots they take. Like when Jaylen Brown hits 5 threes tonight, Tony, and he gets you 50 instead of 38, you know what I mean? Like that's a massive difference. When Derek White goes in there and Derek White on top of getting some rebounds and some assists, because he always does a little bit of all that shit, right? Like he goes in there and he takes another 16 threes. Like, I mean, 16 threes for Derek White. Just absolute green light if I ever seen one in my life. I got a question for you, Tony. How many like third or fourth guys on a team is allowed to take 16 threes on any team?
You can just see by the way he plays, he's got full green light. I mean, that dude's pulling.
Full.
Like, he is pulling.
16 though, like that's great. That's just confidence, insane confidence right there. Just keep shooting, Derek. Keep going. And I love Derek White. That's a lot.
You bring up a lot of good points too with Boston, where again, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like forming a plan in my head. But Boston, I mean, even if they're like if OKC's up 25 in the fourth, they're gonna filter their guys in for sure. Boston, seriously,
Yeah.
And it might not seem like a big deal, but Hauser being out, that's another less guy. They're not going to these guys. So all of a sudden you're down to what? 8 guys they're going to play, which means, I mean, Peyton Pritchard, like the dude in chat, I mean, man, is he a good play tonight. He is a great play tonight. He might be the best play tonight because of why? He's the same price as Caruso too. Like he might be literally the best play of the night.
Yeah. And if we catch that like tweener blowout run where he gets you, instead of playing 24 minutes, he gets 30, Tony, or something like that. Like that's a big difference. An extra 6 minutes for someone like Peyton Pritchard.
I think it's, man, Boston looks clear cut. The more we talk about it, so Hauser's probably out. Cornette really, I mean, is whatever. Cornette's whatever. But Horford we don't like. Drew we're not going to like in spots like this. So you're literally down to the 3 good guys. I mean, you can play Porzingis again, but I'm not playing him.
You were going to go there.
I mean, you got 4 guys really that you can play.
4 guys. Yeah. 4 guys.
Pritchard, though. Pritchard and Tatum. I mean, Tatum, man.
I don't know how you don't play Tatum in this.
You have to play Tatum. I mean,
well, I guess you could say Tatum or Brown, but you're going to have the money to spend. Like,
one of the two. And I'm just never playing Jalen over.
Right. I will say this, though. If you decide to play Jalen over Tatum for whatever reason, I would play Derek White also. Like I'd play both Derek White and Jaylen Brown, like in hopes that Tatum has the bad game, but those guys just crush, right? You get those other 2 guys, those tweener guys that crush, and then you can also play a Pritchard with it or something like that. But I would play both guys in that scenario. But yeah, like you could make a build easy with 4 Celtics and 4 Thunder, Tony. Just the more I look at it, like you can make those builds.
Yeah, and those are the ones I like. I mean, you're still going to have some the blowout spots where you could play cheaper guys too. I just think you have to go with the build where you got at least 2 or 3 studs, and you force yourself to play a couple 3K guys where, I mean, you just force yourself to do it that way. You put yourself in that spot. So
I don't think he's fully healthy, Andrew. I think they pushed him back a little early from the hamstring. Again, like I've said, like, you know, you can play on it. It's just not going to feel right.
Poor Cat. I mean, Cat. Oh, poor Cat.
So we got Cat and Porzingis, some very soft bigs on this in this game here. Who's going to win out? One of these guys is going to win out. Who's going to win out?
Yeah,
that's Tony's. Tony ended up playing Cat. Tony
not my choice. I gotta be clear. That was not my choice, but I was miserable. I typed it in there. It was awesome. Whatever time lock was it 7:30, whatever. Well, I typed it in there immediately. Like, I cannot believe I have Cat because I missed hitting the enter button or whatever. And I was miserable the whole night because of it. And then on top of it, all the guys I liked crushed. It was just so freaking annoying.
Spencer, JSU does not go to Applebee's. I will say this, though.
Going to Applebee's, but JSU never comes this year. He usually comes in March. Now it's May. He's still not here.
My grandfather, RIP, he loved Applebee's. That was like where we would go when he wanted to go get dinner. We'd go to Applebee's. It was right next to his house. Yeah, he was right next to his house. He loved it. I don't know why he loved it. When I would have basketball tournaments and he would come, we would have to go find an Applebee's. Like no matter where, we'd find a fucking Applebee's to eat after like the tournament or something like that.
Sounds like a smart man.
Always loved Applebee's. All right. Yeah, Chili's greater than Applebee's. I agree. Brett. So outside of the 2 teams we clearly like, because we talked about Boston, we talked about Miles McBride, those type of plays from New York. Are you getting to any other Knicks, Tony, or are you going to draw the line at like not playing the starters here?
So my plan tonight, again, I'm not really a 150 player that much for the full slate. So I'm treating this slate more so GPP than I even normally do, or I'm just going to treat it like blowouts. And I'm not going to play for as much money as I do too. I want to be clear about that. I'm just going to put a few entries in there and try to just hit it. I won't, but like again, these Knicks guys are too cheap. I'll just give the flip side to everybody. Like if these games stay close, even remotely close, I'm going to lose tonight for sure. Like, because these Knicks guys, I mean, Jalen Brunson at 8,200, that's very, very cheap for a guy that has been awesome in the playoffs. But
OG at 6K.
And OG at 6K, like these guys are great plays. But again, I'm just going to say the same thing. There's so many really good 150 players out there that are going to put 150 entries in, and they're going to shove all these really good plays, and they're going to, because they're the way they build, they're not going to factor in blowouts. So if you only got a couple entries, how do you beat all of those really good entries? You do it with a different path, just like Showdown. Right. So I'm not going to play these guys, but I'm going to close my eyes when I don't play them because they are all on. The only one I wouldn't play, like say I thought this game would stay close. The only one I wouldn't play was Cat. I would play the other four. I like Brunson. I like Hart, OG, McHale. I like them. If you think it stays close, do it. I mean, shove it. Because you can still go the other thing, too. Say you think one game stays close, our old approach.
Right.
Just jam the first game because everyone's too cheap, and then play Aaron Wiggins or whoever in the second game.
Well, let's going to the second game. Like everyone just saw this game. Even in a game where the Boston Knicks game went to OT, this game was still the winner, Tony, at the end of the night, right? And it didn't so everyone just saw that. So what do you expect them to do? The price tags haven't changed. Everyone's pretty much the same as last slate, Tony. Maybe slightly cheaper, Jamal slightly cheaper, but like whatever. Everyone's like close to the same. They're just going to jam this game again. I mean, they're all too cheap. So,
and they're going to all think the game's going to go the exact same way. Listen, I love Jokic as much as anyone. Is he going to get 83.5 points again? Probably not. I mean, that was a very good game from him. And again, I'm giving the flip side of what my usual takes are. And the funny thing is, game 3, when we're back on Friday, I think it's Friday they both play. Maybe not. Maybe it's shifted a little bit. But the next time these two teams play and the next time Boston plays, there's a really good chance I'm going to love Nuggets again and I'm going to love the Knicks again. Well, because it'll probably be 1-1 and it'll be going back to the home court where it flips. So a lot changes game by game. But honestly, like Gordon and Brown have been my favorite plays all playoffs. I've said it every time we've come on here. But if there's two guys in a spot, and Westbrook for that matter, if there's guys that could bust in a blowout on the road when you're up 1-0, it's these guys. They have low floors. I mean, they've been really good in the playoffs, but they do have, like Brown had a couple 20 ball. I mean, they are really underpriced. If you think the game stays close, it's going to be tough because they only play 7 guys too. But still, you're on mute.
They play so many fucking minutes too.
So many minutes. It's tough. I mean, when you just look at this, you can see why people won't fade it because it's really hard to fade it. They're just going to play. But that's not how you win. That's not how you win $100K off $20. You got to do some stuff different. And another thing, so I'll take it even further. So we're talking full slate. Put a couple entries in the 20, do this. You still got Showdown. You don't have to do anything in Showdown. You can still come in and play these guys in Showdown. So you got a little bit of a natural hedge.
And you could go the opposite direction, say like build like it stays close instead of a complete blowout. You know what I mean? You could go the opposite in the Showdown if you really wanted to. Why wouldn't you play Cat? You think he can bounce back at that price?
Cat stinks. Cat is not bouncing back. Cat stinks.
And on top of it, we think it's a blowout. So why are we going to spend on someone if we think it's a blowout?
I was disgusted with Cat. If I ever say Cat again, they're going to make him cheap and try to tempt me. They're going to make him like 7K.
They have. He's 7,600.
He's going to be like 7K next game and tempt me even more. But I just can't.
He was 10K to end the regular season. He was 10-4.
If there's anyone that gets messed up by the playoffs more than him, I'd love to know who it is. He cannot handle contact.
And just Brunson's it's his time. Like
Cat or Rudy, Big T. Definitely Cat. Definitely Cat over Rudy for me.
Oh, no question.
I'm taking anyone over Rudy.
No
Rudy
question.
might be my least favorite player in the NBA when you factor in salary. Like he is.
What, you want to give Rudy $200 million?
I mean, I'm taking anyone over Rudy.
You're not giving Rudy $200 million.
Is there anyone we hate more than Rudy? There's got to be someone I'm not thinking of, but I don't know who it would be.
Nope, I don't think so.
There's got to be another one we hate, like that's close, but Rudy's got to be. I mean, man.
I can't think of someone, honestly. I mean, we gave Cat a hard time for a while. Not like Rudy, though.
I don't like Cat, but I do realize that he's soft, but he's got some skill. I mean,
difference. Dwight Powell's not making $200 million.
Dwight Powell doesn't count. We're not talking about just scrub. We're talking about max level players.
I'm trying to think, Tony. I can't think of like
Simmons,
a max.
Even Ben Simmons doesn't count anymore.
Because that was so long ago when he was a max level player and everyone jerked him off. Every single person jerked him off. I still remember all of you.
Not me.
Yeah, well, maybe you were one of the few. I don't know how you didn't love Ben Simmons though.
Because I like offensive guys. I don't.
But he's your prototype. No. He's like the passing.
Now you're exaggerating.
No, because like honestly,
I've never liked the guy that can't score at all.
I got a question for you. When he was coming up, what did people compare? Who did people compare him to?
For no reason, though. I argued with Dan Bach about this for when the draft, because it was him and Ingram. It was him versus Ingram, and I'm like, how in the world would I ever take Ben Simmons? Couldn't win in college because he can't do anything.
Can't do anything. Okay, but who did they compare him to?
LeBron, but for no reason.
LeBron.
For no reason, though. Like, it was stupid. The whole time it was stupid.
They just thought he was going to come in. He had like a similar like statute because he was bigger, but he was like he was like a point forward or whatever, and LeBron was like a because he passed and he was an amazing passer, and everyone's like, oh my God, look at this guy pass and run the floor. And
they love his defense. His defense is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, to me though, it would be like, I guess he doesn't play the right way though because he never like attacks. I guess so. I mean,
he was at least like I've always hated him. Like I've always
don't you dare! Don't you?
I've always hated him. No, I've always.
Don't you give him credit?
No, I'm just saying, like in the beginning, he was passable. Like in those playoff series, like he got worse as it went. Like he lost more and more confidence.
Yeah, the more people hyped him up, the worse he got. Pretty much.
He got worse every year. I'd love to pull his stats up. Like his first year had to be his best year, and he got worse every year. Like
every year, I would come back and I'd be like, "Does this guy like ever practice his free throws? Like, does he ever practice?"
Anything. Yeah. How much you think he's made in his career?
Oh God, 500 million.
Not that much. Come on, you got a better guess than that.
I don't know. 200? He's got
200 million. There you go. That's a better guess. 200 million.
Unbelievable.
Kuzma is a decent example right there.
Honestly, though, Tony, he's probably made 500 million with like endorsements and shit. He was so hyped. I'm telling, like, he was so hyped coming in. He had to make a ton of endorsement money. Like, had to be.
Crazy. I know that his he was getting 40 million this year.
That's like the Coach Carter where they're playing that kid after and he's interviewing him. He's like, I'm not LeBron James, I'm Ty Crane or whatever. I'm the next Ty Crane or whatever. It was like that was Ben Simmons right there. So fucking loved himself. Reg got a haircut, but look at this shit. They gave him this. I hate when they do this. They give him this stupid bandana that he hates. And I always take it off every time.
Why do they give it? What does it do?
It does nothing. He got a haircut though. So the girl who does it probably thinks it looks like handsome and stuff like that. So she puts it on, but I hate it every single time. And I take it off right when he comes in. That's why he yelled at me and ran over. He wanted this thing off. My dog's smart. Stupid stuff. Looks good though. Did you see him, Tony? You see him with his haircut?
Oh, looked freaking awesome.
Yeah, I know you did. You love that. All right. Let's just quickly touch on the Showdown talk here because you brought it up. People love the Showdown talk. And you were talking about, like, in the Showdown, you could play it in different ways. You know what I mean? You can make a few lineups, based off a blowout. You may make a few lineups based off of it staying close. But we were on it. We talked about the studs last time out. I mean, you got Jokic and SGA. I mean, do you have two better studs on a Showdown slate, right? Like, you got two of the best.
And it's even more clear cut than ever because just assume, like, I just think it's a blowout. Like, even if it's not, I think it's like OKC by like 12 or 10 or 14 or something, right? To where it's not like all in on it. It's so freaking easy though, because just like last time, if you're still gonna, even if you think it's a blowout, you're still starting with SGA and Jokic, which leaves you with 4,700. And there's just so many ways that you can go with it, where I just think it's a super easy slate I'm still going to build towards it being a little bit of a blowout. So I'm going to lower all these nuggets. I'm going to lower even Jokic. I mean, what do we usually project him, like 70 or something? I'm going to lower him to probably, I don't
60?
know, high 50s or 60, somewhere in there. And I might even have SGA. I haven't had SGA close to him in well, they've only played one game, but I wouldn't have SGA close to him within like 10. Tonight, I'm going to have it a little closer, where SGA a little bit closer, because SGA is going to get a lot of foul calls tonight too. It's going to happen. He's going to. So I would crank them too. You don't really need, if you think it's a blowout, which I do, you don't really need a cheaper captain, because it's going to be raw points almost always, whoever scores the most. So you got those two, and then you can just get super creative, lower all these nuggets, except for guys like Peyton Watson. I would boost. I would definitely lower all the starters. Boost Peyton Watson.
You boost Strother in this scenario?
Definitely Strother. Definitely Zeke Naji. But what again? A
You
boost from
love Zeke Naji.
You talked me into him last game, for the record.
Pickett's better. Is that
dude? Pickett. I was one thing I was wrong about in game one, where you were right. You talked about DeAndre. We needed to, a lot of our shows, we need to take it one step further. Okay, DeAndre's off the court, which was a great call, because I hadn't thought about it before you said it. I hadn't thought about it, but we needed to take it one step further and be like, what's their rotation going to look like? And they don't like Pickett that much, and they don't need to be big. So Pickett was another guy that was just out. I thought for sure Pickett would play. I thought 100% he would play as the backup, but they don't need him in this series.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
look at who OKC's bringing in. They're bringing in some young, athletic, you don't need to bring in like big guys, big stiffs.
Well, so what if you play? I'm just curious, because I think you can play 2 or 3 1K guys if it's a blowout. So if you played Jokic and SGA, which is the most expensive, the next highest would be Jalen. You're still at 3,100. So let's take it even further. If we have 2 1K guys, you could fit 70. You could literally fit basically four studs with 2 1K guys. That to me is the build in Showdown.
So you're saying you can fit all 4 with two 1Ks?
Yeah, or you can get even more creative and play like because I love your Wiggins take. He's a little bit more expensive than 1K. He's 2,400, but I think he's got actual upside. And like Peyton Watson is I think Wiggins and Watson would be my 2 guys tonight, because they'll play both styles. They'll play minutes if they won't play a ton if it's close, but they'll play some, and they're both so cheap. I mean, 2,000 and 2,400. Which then, listen to this. This is even better. This is awesome right here. You got Jokic, SGA, Jalen Williams, the 3 most expensive guys, and honestly the 3 best plays as far as points. And then if you play our 2 guys, it leaves you with 5,100, right? Who's in there? Caruso. Everyone with this build is going to play Caruso. So all of a sudden, I think you take it even further, and then you look down. Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, they're both okay, right? I think you can use them over Caruso. But if you take it even further, all you need is a 1K guy that will play in a blowout. You're leaving 4,100 on the table. You're
Jalen with a Y? Jalen with a Y?
Yeah, Jalen with the Y. I mean, that build, man, I love that. I
like
love
that
that.
too. I like that too. Are we sure Peyton Watson gets like full blowout run?
I don't know. I don't think he does, but I think the floor is nice because I think he'll get normal run and then maybe just a tiny bit of. He won't get
Okay.
scrub run though. No way he gets scrub run.
Yeah, because
So you don't need to go him either. You could play 2 1K guys too.
Well, I was just looking at the builds and I was like, okay, like the best it could get me though is like MPJ, which I don't
which you
love.
don't want him tonight.
Right. And that would leave me
salary is a
15.
good move.
Yeah, I think leaving salary is a good move because I love this build, like the Jokic, SGA, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins. Like you start with those 4 and you just build off those 4.
If Rubio freaking goes captain, God, Rubio, if you put Caruso in the captain, I'm going to lose it.
He's going to, too. You know he's going to, right?
Caruso is by far the worst play of the night, I think.
What happens if they start him? I don't think they do, but what happens if they start him?
It would make him an even better fade, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, people that haven't watched us a ton, which most of the people watching, I'm sure, have watched us a ton. Like, we are not saying Caruso's not a really good play. We're talking to people that are going to play 3 entries, which is a lot of the people watching. How do you get different? You got to do something. So we're not saying he's a bad play, but he has a low floor for the ownership he's going to have.
Correct. He's going to have, obviously massive ownership. If he starts, I mean, forget about it. Like the ownership's
off the charts,
through the roof right there. The only thing that will, I don't, just because then he'll if it blows out, he'll still gain a little more run than I'm hoping for. So I hope he doesn't start and I don't think they will, honestly. I think he's like the perfect guy. They like him off the bench. So they might start him in the second half. They might do that again. I don't think they start him in the first half. All right. Rank your 1K guys. Like if you had to rank them, you could even just go by team, right? If you want to do by team, like just OKC and Denver. How would you rank? Like just go top 2 or something like that.
I only got this sheet up, so I don't know who's 1K. Let me pull it up.
Julian Strawther, Pickett, Najee.
Are all these guys in my gray 1K? They got to be, right? They got to all be 1K.
Yeah, all those guys are 1K.
Yeah, so I would rank the Denver side for sure. Strawther number 1 by a significant amount because he played in the first game and he'll play scrub time and he's good on offense. So Strawther number 1 by a mile. And then, I mean, I don't even think DeAndre will play like a ton of scrub time. I mean, it just depends on how big of a blowout you think it is. Like if it's like a 30-point game, I mean, they're going to play Conchar. They're going to play Hunter Tyson. These guys always play. Like, here's their 5 scrubs right here. Zeke, Strawther, Pickett, Tyson, Conchar. Right here, you can see it in a blowout. Same thing in this game, except this was DeAndre instead of Conchar. But these 4 right here, Zeke, Strawther, Pickett, Tyson. Actually, for the sake of this, let's just say that. I'd rank it Strawther number 1, Zeke number 2. Actually, Pickett number 2, Zeke number 3, Tyson number 4. But in Showdown, I think you need to include all of these guys because if they catch a full quarter, it could be any of these guys that crush. Strawther for sure number 1, though.
So I would, if I'm right, like if I can add the OKC guys, because I kind of like a lot of the OKC guys a little more, just because, again, they're more like Denver's going to play this thing tight until they know they're like completely out of it. And then they'll go to their 1K guys. Like OKC, like if they're rolling, they might bring in Kenrich. They might bring in like Jalen with the Y for a little bit more running. Those guys are 1K too. So I think Strawther's the clear best play on Denver. I agree with Tony. Like if we're just talking Denver, Pickett, Najee would be 2-3. But like Kenrich and Jalen with the Y are like the 2. Strawther would be 1, and then those 2 would be like 2-3. But like those are the 2
probably a better play than even Strawther, just because
he might be
playing normal run too.
Yeah, you're right. So I put him 1, then Strother, then
Unless somehow
Kenrich
they can
Williams.
dance. I mean, do we think he doesn't play? I mean, he only played 3 minutes. Do we think there's a path where he just doesn't play if it stays close?
Maybe if there's no foul trouble. I just think if it's a blowout, they're gonna feel like good
He is
about
gonna
like,
smash if it's a blowout. Like, and
yeah,
honestly, he should be in play in our $20 main slate build too, because I mean, he
yeah,
could get
yeah.
you 20 fantasy points in scrub time.
Oh, easily. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
One,
the problem is, like
easily.
we said, you're building a lot tonight on script. So if these games stay close, you're gonna be
You're
in trouble.
losing. You're losing.
But still, if it
Yeah.
doesn't stay close, what happens when both these games are 30-point games? You know how mint we're gonna be. We're gonna win every dollar.
Yeah, and no one else is gonna have these type of builds too if that happens. So it's gonna be
Just
very low
all of
owned.
the, I'll say it for the 10th time this show, all of the really good DFS players that play 150 are just going to play it normal, which they should. I'm not, again, they're better than me at 150. They know what they're doing. I'm not making fun of how they do it. I'm just saying, how do we beat that? And we beat that by
Game
doing
theory.
something a little different.
Yeah, game theory. Adding a little game theory into the script and going that way with the 2-gamer even. So that's the way you do it right there. I like it. And then the last question: are you just gonna jam Jokic and SGA again, or are you
It's
gonna
hard
play
for me
anyone
not to. I mean,
weird?
I want Tatum too, though. But like we said when we're talking 2-gamer, I don't really think you're giving anything up to play all 3, just because you can. I don't want the mid range tonight. I don't love the mid range overall. So I think I want to play all 3 of them. And again, what salary does that leave us with if we play all 3?
All 3 of Jokic, SGA, and who's the third?
And Tatum. We
And
still got
Tatum.
4K per spot.
4K.
That, I mean, yeah, I want all 3 of those guys, because if it's 2 blowouts, it's still raw points at the top. I want the 3 highest scoring guys, which I think will be those 3.
Yeah, I really want Tatum because I do feel like they're going to be more okay with the run in a blowout, like a little more run in a blowout. They're really going to make sure this thing is done with before they hand it over to fucking Torrey Craig and all those bums they have sitting on that bench past them. So, yeah, love it.
Boston's the best too. I'll say that. I think Boston's by far. And again, we talked about it, but here's the sheet. Like Tatum, Brown, White, Pritchard are. I think the Celtics are by far the best team in the night tonight.
Yep, I
agree. I want to play all 4 of them, though. I want to be clear about that too. Like I would play Tatum or Brown, and then White or Pritchard, and then maybe 3 of the 4 at tops.
Yeah, I like all 3 of these guys because I think they all benefit from the blowout.
I don't like Wallace as much, but I think I love Pritchard and Wiggins, though.
He might not fully benefit from the blowout. I think he's
really cheap though, which is
really cheap. Yeah.
I just kind of hate his game. Like when I watch him,
I do hate his game. Like I hate his game a ton. Like I know Wiggins is good. He just doesn't get as much run as Wallace. Like, you know, but
Wiggins is the type of guy too that chucks when he's in there. Like he just chucks.
Cornette or Mitch Rob? I mean, Cornette is someone I hate playing. Like I know he's gonna play, but I think I gotta go Mitch Rob in that scenario.
Oh God, you can't play Mitch Rob.
I can't play Cornette. He's asking 1 or 2.
Oh God, Mitch Rob.
Are you gonna play Cornette?
I mean, no, but I'm not gonna play Mitch
He
Rob.
said, I mean, no.
I would play Cornette ahead of Mitch Rob.
We'll go with Mitch Rob. I'm sorry,
because I mean, Porzingis could still, like, who knows what they're gonna do with this guy? Freaking illness again. He could just what if he's out in a blowout? He's not gonna play either.
He could get sick again and leave after 13 minutes. So that's
Cornette might actually crush in a blowout. Like he might not be that bad. How much is Cornette?
I don't think he plays in like full blowout though, because they still have Tillman, and I don't think he plays like
showed us the blowout run too. It's these 5: Davison, Craig, Keita, Shireman, and Walsh.
Oh yeah, and Keita too. I forgot about him. So
I mean, that's what they did, and their one like big blowout was that right there. Those 5. They only played 4 minutes. To your point, I'm going to keep saying what you said. I don't think Boston punts quick. I mean, even if
I'll
they're
tell
up
you right
30,
now, if there's one team I know the ins and outs of, it's the Boston Celtics. I
I
know
think this
exactly
is a
how
good
they
number
play.
right here. The last 4 minutes, when it's clearly over, they bring these guys in. Until that means Boston's the best plays of the slate by a lot.
Right after that 6-minute mark, is it an official timeout, like something next dead ball or whatever,
Yeah.
like somewhere in that range, between there and the 4-minute mark is where those guys will get. Whereas OKC could get a quarter.
OKC will be a lot quicker with the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone outside might be worried, but I know OKC's not worried inside that room. I mean, they're not worried.
No, they're not worried. Dude, they were winning the
tonight,
whole
they're
game.
Gonna be worried, but
they were winning that whole game, though. They're not worried. That's like, it's like Boston. They're not worried either. None of those teams. Honestly, I don't think any of these teams that lost are actually, even the Cavs. I think they
might be a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, they might be a little concerned.
I think they look at that game and they go, "Dude, we were winning that entire game without 3 of our best players."
They can say it all they want, but they're still down 0-2 going to the road for 2 games.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. First time watcher, appreciate you watching there, sir. Appreciate the first time watch. You can hit the like button if you enjoyed the show there. Tony, we got to give our plays of the day and then we'll get out of here. Or if you have a bet of the day, one or the other, you can throw it out there.
The betting side as much tonight just because these big
either.
numbers. I would say to just bet. More than likely, we talked about all that. More than likely, one of these games blows out and the other one stays somewhere around the number. That's how my educated thing says, but I don't have any bets that I love tonight outside. What would a parlay pay with both favorites money line? Minus 233. I actually think I don't ever recommend giving juice. Minus 233 for a little 2-team money. That'll be my bet. I think I just can't see them both losing.
I can't do that.
I don't usually lay juice, but I wanted to give some bet, and I don't love it. But my play of the day is clear cut tonight. Peyton Pritchard over Caruso. So you got my fade and my play of the night built into one. Play Pritchard over Caruso. That is 100% my play of the night.
Well, then why don't you just go Peyton Pritchard? 10 plus points is plus 105.
Yeah, I will do that. That's my bet then too.
There you go. Peyton Pritchard, 10 plus points. I mean, you could even take it a step further and get to, 15 or something like that for a plus 400 or something if you really want to.
I like the 10 plus at plus number.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. All right, being there. So who was your play? Peyton Pritchard. That was your play.
Over Caruso too.
Over
all
Caruso,
into one, just because they're the same price.
Okay, I like that.
That's my fade and my play all in one.
So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go back to the Celtics here, but I'm gonna go Derek White. I'm gonna stick with him, and then I'll just give the Aaron Wiggins play as my cheap guy that I don't think anyone's gonna play. And again, he's not gonna hit probably in a close game. He's gonna hit more in a blowout. But if it blows out, he could really hit in a blowout too. Remember, 26 minutes in that game against Memphis when they won by 50 in game 1. So I think he's an interesting play there. B-Nair's going to check out Amanda Vance. I don't know who that is, but good luck with that, B-Nair. Tony, fun show here. Glad to have you back on. We'll have a showdown slate tomorrow. Hopefully DK gives us a big prize pool for the old showdown contest. So join us tomorrow, same time. We'll be breaking down the Golden State Minnesota Timberwolves, hopefully a little better game there. And we'll see you guys then for Big T and myself. Good luck in your DraftKings, DFS, and bets. Until tomorrow, we're out of here. Peace.